So I call up Time Warner. Why? I mean, this is an extra long story, but we got to kill time, baby.
That's fine.
So anyways, I called up Time Warner, and they couldn't help me, and they said, well, I can't send a tech out today, so we've got to wait till Monday from 10 to noon. So I set up an appointment for 10 to noon. 4 o'clock, at about 4 o'clock, I said, you know what, there's got to be some, if the cable's working, why isn't the internet working? So I sat around all day, finally went and fucked around with a bunch of cables. Don't know what I did, but the internet popped back on, and we were caught up by Sunday night, and I called Time Warner, canceled the appointment for Monday, and here we are now.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, they say shit happens, but do you ever notice that shit only happens when, like, you absolutely need something?
Well, I was thinking, you know what I was thinking? I was thinking that Sunday, right? There was no pay-per-view on Sunday, so I'm like, right, it's not as bad as it could have been. You know what I mean? If we had a pay-per-view and I didn't have internet, it would have just been a mess.
Nightmare, yeah.
So anyways, I got it fixed, and then Sunday night was the UFC on Versus, UFC 2 on Versus, which was pretty good show. John Jones is a beast.
I didn't even get to watch it.
Well, you know what? I wanted to put a notice, because usually for these free shows, I know a lot of people forget, especially Sunday night shows and when they do the Wednesday shows. I know a lot of people forget that UFC and MMA is on.
I forgot all about it myself.
Usually I make a note and I put it inside a post so that MMA fans, little wrestling fans, they can check it out. And I was just so swamped with work on Sunday that I didn't get a chance to do that. So, yeah. So that was Sunday. John Jones, he looked like a fucking beast. We'll talk about UFC on Versus 2 here in just a little bit in hour number 2. And then, like I said, guys, we've got a lot of people in our new chat room. Come check out the new chat. WZROnline.com/chat. Once again, WZROnline.com/chat. Brand new system setup, so come at least check it out. You know,
it looks really, really good too, man. That, like you said, it's not that different color, all can't read and shit.
Yeah. Everybody's in the same general. Everybody's even. You know what I mean? So get there now. WZROnline.com/chat, and we're doing chat shoutouts here at some point in hour number 2. We're gonna take your live phone calls as well in hour number 2. Hopefully,
sounds like a plan.
Hopefully I don't fuck up like I do every week with the phone calls, but it's worth a shot, right?
Yeah, well, if we go off air, hopefully it's you on there, not me by myself.
Yeah.
That's like that's been the past couple times. I didn't even know I'd been on the air.
Man. We'll get it right. We'll get it right tonight. All right, so, yeah, that was the weekend. That was, everybody says, talk wrestling. See, if we talk wrestling now, then we're going to have to go off the air early because we're not going to have enough to talk about. That's why we're just kind of bullshitting, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this week's probably been the slowest week we've had in a while.
Yeah, it's been crazy slow. Well, I mean, the TV tapings, last week was crazy because you had the double TV tapings, you had a Wednesday night TV taping, and yeah.
So, well, I mean, we still got a little bit of news to go through anyways. A couple things that'll probably keep us a little occupied for a while, so that's all good.
Yeah, no doubt. We're going to talk about ECW and TNA, too. We got into a pretty good discussion last week.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Made for good radio, so we're going to do that again probably tonight. We're going to run down Monday Night Raw from last night. We'll highlight the high points and the low points of that. We won't go all the way through it, but we'll just highlight the highs, you know.
Well, what do you want to start out with? You want to start out with Raw, or you want to get into discussion?
Let's get some plugs. We got a couple plugs to get out of the way, and then, to be honest with you, I don't know what the fuck we're gonna do.
All right, sounds good. Let's hit the plug.
All right, here we go. YouTube. We've got a YouTube page. I know we already plugged the Facebook. Search for WZR Army. Just find it. Facebook.com. We've got a YouTube page at youtube.com/WZR Archive. youtube.com/WZR Archive. There's a reason it's /WZR Archive, because the archives go up the following day. So if you don't see them on WZROnline.com, go over to the YouTube page, sign up there, and usually they're up the next day, usually on Wednesday or at least by Thursday. So youtube.com/WZR Archive for that. And AOL Instant Messenger. If you guys have AIM, you could send us questions. If you can't get to us through the chat room, or if you don't feel like calling us live, send an instant message through AIM, AOL Instant Messenger, to WZR Questions.
Not very... Oh, go ahead.
No, WZR Questions. It's not very what?
Oh, I was going to say, it's not very hard to find us. We're all over the web.
All over the place. You've got YouTube,
Everywhere.
you've got Facebook, you've got AOL Instant Messenger, you've got live phone call.
I even heard Twitter. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard Twitter.
Used to have a Twitter page, and I haven't done anything with it in quite some time. So
I gotcha.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get that back up.
You still got many places to find us, so find us.
Find us as I take a sip of water. All right, and one last plug. Then we're going to Monday Night Raw from last night. We're going to run that down. Then we're talking Samoa Joe, all that TNA stuff in hour number 2. So one more plug. WZROnline.com. Got to plug the official website of WZR Radio. All right, WZROnline.com. Here's some notes that I took. Right, the website. Here's what I've done. The plan is to keep the website as simple as possible. Basically, I just want a news board and a shout box over on the right. We used to run 3 different ad companies. I've got that down to 1 ad company now. I've taken all the ads off, basically. So I put it on its own server, so it's very, very fast loading. It's got less ads than any other website. The comment script, we've got a comment where you guys can comment on each news post. There's a box below where you can comment. The shout box feature is there as well over on the right-hand side. Radio archives on a weekly basis. If you missed the live show, you can get the archives over there. And like I said, just really, really fast loading because I put it on a separate server. So, and this is my main site. This is my main project right now is WZROnline.com. You guys that are in the shout box, I know you guys have seen the traffic over there where there's been like over 100 people online, sometimes 200, 300 people online at one time, which is just amazing. Fucking crazy. We had over 24,000 unique visitors yesterday for about 60,000 page views, which isn't the best ratio for uniques to page views. It's about 3 page views per visitor, but 22,000 uniques is just insane. And the site is growing like you would not fucking believe. I mean, there are more people over there commenting on posts in the shout box. So if you guys come from different websites, wherever you guys are coming from, I don't know where you come from. I don't know if WZROnline.com is your main site or if you pick this up on another website. Make sure you guys check WZROnline.com because it's really, really simple and we got all the news and I put it there faster than other sites. So there we go. That was a lot of plugs, huh?
Yeah, that was.
That was a lot of plugs.
Yeah, man, I just got a couple more. I got a couple IMs at WZR Questions, and remember I told you I was having that little problem with the chat room earlier?
Right.
A couple people have IM'd me asking me about it themselves, so I said I don't really know what's up with that, but...
All right, we'll work on it for next week. I think the issue is on Internet Explorer. I don't think if you're on Firefox or Safari or whatever the fuck else you're on. I think everything's good, but we'll work on that for next week. Yeah, I'm on Internet Explorer here, and I'm not having any problems, so I don't know. WZROnline.com/chat. Lots and lots of people in there tonight. All right, here we go. Wrestling, MMA for the rest of the show. Plugs are out of the way.
Sounds like a plan.
Shazam! Shazam, baby dolls! All right. Here we go. Monday Night Raw.
What do you think?
Talked about them. You know what? I caught about the first hour and a half, and the main events, I'm going to be straight up honest, I missed them. They were on in the background, but I was catching up on work last night, so...
I watched it, and it was pretty much overall what I expected. It was kind of obvious. Obviously, we were gonna have the problems with Team Cena, the whole Nexus, and then the whole Edge and Jericho thing. So I mean, it was a little boring to me just because it was kind of obvious what was going down.
You know that they're doing the thing where Team Nexus is all they're a solid group, and Team Raw is in shambles going into the pay-per-view. And we talked about it last week. Basically, that means Team Raw overcomes all the odds at the pay-per-view, and then we go from there,
to be honest with you, I know you feel different about this, but I really hope that Team Cena squashes Nexus and Nexus is over because, in my opinion, bro, what was once a promising storyline is really just kind of went to hell and just become so predictable, I don't know. I think the Nexus thing is going to continue on. I don't think they're going to end the pay-per-view, and this is the reason why. I think if you continue, okay, right now you've got
supposed to be 8 guys, right? But you've got 7 guys. Danielson isn't there. You've got 7 guys right now that are in the spotlight on Monday Night Raw, okay? And these are 7 guys where several months ago, well, if you didn't watch NXT, and you got to remember it gets a 1.0 rating, you know, the people that watch Monday Night Raw, it gets, I mean, it's triple the numbers, you know what I mean? These are 7 guys that if you didn't watch NXT, you had no idea who these guys were, okay? And they come out on a weekly basis now, and you can see that week after week, like last night on Raw, you would have David Otunga and somebody else in a backstage segment where they are splitting them up. Like they were a group at first. You had all 7 of them together at all times. And now they are splitting them up, giving them... Everybody gets FaceTime, okay? Everybody gets FaceTime, and the idea is to promote, is to build them up. And I think it's too early. I think you're still in the building stages where where this Nexus storyline is going to continue on, okay? And then eventually there's going to come a time where Nexus is obviously going to split up and they're going to go their separate ways, and then these guys are going to go off and you're going to have a Nexus guy against a WWE guy, another Nexus guy against a WWE guy, and they're all going to get their separate moments to shine. But I think right now you've got to keep the group together to establish them, and then later on they're going to go off in their own separate directions, you know?
You know, it's something though. I don't know. I just don't. I don't like this whole way that they're trying to build these guys up. I don't know. I just don't think they're getting the heat that they're really expected to get.
You know who they are though. You know what I mean. You know who these guys are, and that's the goal. You know what I mean. That's the goal, is to make you know who these guys are, and they've got an angle right now where you're taking these rookies and you're putting them against established WWE stars, and that is exactly, I mean, you talk about the rub, you know what I mean? You talk about giving people the rub. This is the way to do it, by taking no-name guys, the guys that people had no idea several months ago, and you're putting them in a feud with John Cena, Chris Jericho, and others. You know, and I understand what your point is, where you're saying, you know, this whole angle is kind of played itself out. Yeah. You know, but I think it needs to play itself out more before they do the eventual split.
No, I know what you mean. It's just, yeah, I know what you mean. I think though, to be honest with you, I think Wade Barrett's gonna be the biggest out of all of them, man. I mean, he's by far the most impressive, not only in the ring but on the mic.
Oh yeah, well, I mean they've given him the nod, obviously, to be the main guy in that group, the main star in that group. I mean, that's obviously who they see potential in, you know, by putting him as the leader of a group like that, you know, a major group on Raw. So.
You want to know one thing that's kind of really made me laugh about that whole thing?
What's that?
Is a lot of, like I said, I told you last week, I get a lot of Facebook messages from people in the WZR Army asking questions and stuff, but a lot of people